What up, everybody? This is yours truly, Rama Screen, and I'm so excited. I'm here to interview one of my favorite actresses because I'm such a huge fan of patty cakes. I'm talking about, of course, actress Danielle Macdonald. Did I get that right? Yes. And she has a new movie called Skin, co-starring Jamie Bell, whom I just recently talked to about this movie as well. So congratulations, Danielle.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, your character, Julie, is so complex. But one thing for sure is that she is a very protective mama bear to her children. So I'm wondering, what was your process like into embodying Julie's maternal instincts?
Honestly, it took a little bit. I don't have children in real life, so I was trying to figure out how on earth I am going to play a mother of three with the number four on the way. Um, and honestly, I spent time with these kids, and it's funny how quickly that like maternal instinct kicks in. Especially like with the little one, Colby, when we were on set and she'd hear like any kind of like racist things, I was like, you will not hear this. Nope, no, you will not hear this. And I like had my hands clamped over her ears and I'm like, I know you know this is fake, but like you're not hearing this because this is making me sick to my stomach to hear. And I like can't have a child hear this. I can't. And that was really I was like, oh, there we go. That's the maternal instincts right there. And they were so great to work with. It was kind of really easy to find that relationship, and it's just about love ultimately, and I'm really close with my family, so I could understand that aspect of it, and that's kind of how I found Julie.
By the way, there's this scene where you fight off Brian's ex-girlfriend. Man, you were so fierce.
Thank you.
I would not want to get on your bad side. So.
No, I actually really like stunt work. I find it so fun, and fight scenes are really fun. There's a deleted scene that you don't get to see because we didn't want too much violence in the movie, and there is a scene where I'm like fighting off four guys, and I was badass in it. I would like to point out, but didn't quite make the cut, unfortunately.
I want to ask also, what do you think Julie sees in Brian? Because other people, people generally would, a quick look at his tattooed face and they're like, oh, that's a deal breaker. I'm not associating myself with that guy, let alone dating him. What do you think Julie sees in him?
I think that this was really hard for me. That was the question I had to ask myself because I was like, how can what like why are you inviting this guy into your life? You have children. Yeah, you don't want this in your life, so how can you invite someone in? And I really had to go into her history. That was kind of the key for me. Her father had been in the movement, which is mentioned in the film, and he got out, but her exes had been in the movement. It was the only life she knew. It was the only world she knew. So as much as you don't want to be a part of it, it is comfortable because it is all she knows. And so I think she's in it and she can't quite get out of it. No one's going to give her an opportunity outside of it. But in it, she can actually make money because she was homeless for a while with her children and she couldn't ever do that again. So I think in her brain, this is how I justified it. It was better to make money from these people, even though she hated them and knew she didn't want to be a part of it, than be homeless with her kids. So that's how she was kind of still tied into the life. So when she meets someone like Brian, she's like, you're different. There is goodness in you, and I see that. And I think that was kind of what it was. Like they wanted to get out together. I think that really was the only way I could justify letting someone in, is knowing that she thought they would get out. Right. And then realizing he wasn't ever going to, she left. But then she went back. I know. And it's tough. And that was part of why I was like, why would you go back? Like, why would you do that? But then it's hard. Like they went through everything together. And I think that was what was really messy. And she is flawed. That is the other thing we need to remember. Like people are flawed. And she is very flawed, and that was kind of one of the things I had to accept and understand. I'm flawed in my own ways, and we all have our own flaws, and this was one of hers, and that was something that I really had to understand while playing her.
Now, along that line, you've had your share of on-screen love interests. Talk a bit about working with Jamie Bell in creating the chemistry between Julie and Brian.
Jamie is great. Jamie is just such a good actor. He's a great person and he makes it easy. You know, like we had our own funny little things. He's like, you have to be in love with me. So, you know, I won't take my fake teeth out in front of you, for example. So, you know, he would never take his fake teeth out. He's like, look away, because that's gross. So things like that was easy. And on top of that, we met up in LA so that we could get to know each other before we even went away to film. And then when we were away, we would, you know, just go out to lunch or I don't know, like hang out and play games in the games room. There was a games room at the hotel. So things like that. And it was just easy and because we were comfortable around each other when we were on set together, we just had such an ease and an understanding. And that was so great because it meant we could bring the chemistry so easily and just know that we're like cool, you know, and that's really helpful, just like feeling comfortable with someone. So it's really great.
You're a fantastic dramatic actress. I'm a big fan of yours. This is such a heavy material, though. You know, white supremacy, and of course that scene with the shootout, or you know, the gunfire. So there's a lot of emotionally devastating scenes in this film. How did you approach those?
um I mean, emotionally it was always going to be tough and I knew that going into it. I think anytime you approach an emotional scene, you really just kind of have to find the circumstances of it. And the thing is, when you're doing it, it is very real. So we're doing a shootout scene and we're hearing blanks, but we're hearing the gunshots. So that's terrifying. Yeah. That is really terrifying. You're reacting to something that feels very real, even though you know it is safe. And that does make it easier to get into for sure. And you kind of just really have to go with that and believe your circumstances. So when I hear a blank being fired, I'm like, there was a gun being fired at me. You know, you just go into that world. And it was tough, but we were all in it together. And when everyone else is so committed, it's so easy to connect and find that in like a group, like with another actor. It's amazing. You're not there alone. And when you find that together, it's just, it becomes something else entirely.
As I'm winding down to my final questions, how do you choose your projects these days? What attracts you as an artist?
I like being able to do different things. I really like being able to challenge myself or find a part of myself that I haven't really explored before. That's always really exciting to me in characters and in projects. But honestly, if I read a script that I love for whatever reason, I'm interested. Like that's something that is really cool to me. I'm not really picky about genre or it's like I only want to do drama or I only want to do comedy. It's like it's not that at all. I really like doing a variety. I've really been fortunate to be able to do a variety of films and I would love to continue that. But I don't specifically look for anything. It's more just kind of what speaks to you in the moment.
All right. Last question. What do you hope the audience would take away from the themes of Skin?
I just really hope it kind of starts a conversation, honestly. I it sparked a conversation in me with myself. I really had to ask myself, what am I trying to say with this? Can I accept this? If that is what I'm asking the audience, like, can they forgive someone? Like, what am I asking myself? And the only thing I could find was, how does society change so that this doesn't happen? These people don't exist. And the only answer was, people need to change so that we can educate the next generation to know something different. Because it is cyclical. These people are growing up and they're teaching their children the same. And the only way to break the cycle is for the adult to change and teach the children something different. And that is what happens in this film. And so that was why it appealed to me. And whether or not you can forgive Brian, I think it does pose that. Is this person forgivable? But it really says, can we at least allow someone to change if it has a greater effect all around in society? And everyone's going to have a different answer, and no one is right or wrong. I think it's just subjective, and everyone, based on their own experiences, is going to have a different answer. But it is important to talk about.
All right. Patty cakes, the bird box, dumpling, and now Skin. Danielle, thank you so much for talking to me and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.